Hi guys, I got lucky this Sunday, got to work from home for the first half of the day. I'm actually getting ready now to head out. I have a really fun meeting at Ulstercal and I'm going to be going through some of the galleries and seeing some of the shows, so I will be taking you through my little art tour today, so stay tuned. Also, Wakas and I got to spend the weekend watching some of the Oscar-nominated movies. It's something that we do every year. We love downloading the Oscar pack and then seeing some of the movies that have received some rave reviews. We watched Joker, we watched Hustlers, which sadly wasn't nominated but was a really good movie, and we saw Marriage Story, which kind of was tough to watch. Was very, very emotional, but we're going to do one of our Wacom reviews this evening. So I know you guys love watching those. So after dinner, stay on here and you're going to hear mine and Wakas's opinions and basically our thoughts on those three movies. As promised, this is our quick review. You look fine. Seriously. All right, be right back. Okay, so this is our review of the three movies that we watched. We're trying to catch up on some of the Oscar-nominated movies. The first one we saw was Joker.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Joker?
I thought it was a great move for DC. And, one, it didn't feel like a comic book movie, which was great. I thought Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job acting.
He was so chillingly believable. He was really good. His laugh was so creepy. I personally liked him more as the Joker than Heath Ledger, although Heath Ledger was pretty amazing too.
But, I mean, there is a bit of more depth to the character. And I thought
backstory.
And I thought the little Easter eggs that they gave to, the comic book nerds with the Batman, Bruce Wayne crossover thing.
Yeah.
And what I liked, and I was telling somebody else this, what I liked is that there was always a bit of suspense, even though you know how the story goes and how it is going to end up.
Yeah.
But I liked how they still strung you along. And then there was different possibilities, where you thought that maybe he was related to Bruce Wayne.
That was
and
a
then
really
he's not.
good, what if moment.
Exactly.
Is he Bruce's dad?
Brother.
But
and then you're thinking maybe he is, maybe he's not. And then that was a really interesting juxtaposition of the two characters. So yeah.
It's shot really well. The story's amazing. He acted phenomenally well. So Joker is definitely a must watch. It is very heavy. I felt really uncomfortable at certain parts of it. It's quite an intense movie to watch. Next up is Hustlers, which sadly was snubbed from the Academy.
I don't think it's sadly. I think it was an okay movie.
Really?
I thought the story was absolutely I thought the fact that it was real life.
It's a really fascinating story.
It's
and
a super
the kind of
story.
Shit that Jennifer Lopez had to do to get ready for this movie.
Yeah, okay, so she got super physically fit.
I mean, she put so many of us to shame.
No, I mean,
the kind of shit she was doing.
I don't think just because you got super physically fit, you should get an Oscar. She looked amazing. She did a great job. But, J-Lo is a mediocre actress. She is.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I thought that her role was pretty compelling. I was just kind of blown away by that performance that she did. It also made me really uncomfortable for different reasons.
I mean, she looked amazingly hot. I mean, really. So do you. But she looked amazingly hot.
I am no stripper. Nor do I know how to pole dance. But
can I press get a pole? Pole in the bedroom? No? You were not inspired?
Young people watch me on here.
Okay.
Let's keep it PG. Thank you very much. Okay. But anyway, I thought the story was okay. I'm just blown away by her physical capabilities. Can you agree? It was funny. It was also funny in some parts, but yeah.
What I found super interesting was the fact that, and this is a real life thing, that they had gotten off on such light sentences, even though they had done some pretty messed up stuff.
Yeah, good call.
So if a man had done that to a woman, he would have been in jail much, much longer.
They got off on probation.
I know.
For they almost killed a couple people.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a much. I mean, yes, we would say definitely watch it, right? It's a good watch.
Yeah, it's a decent watch.
Okay. And finally, the movie that made me bawl my eyes out was Marriage Story. I thought Adam Driver and
We
Scarlett
should have been
Johansson.
called like a horrible divorce story, but that's what it should have been called. It had more to do with breaking up a marriage than actual marriage itself. So
It was so sad.
It was very intense.
I was so sad. Like, I realized one of two things. So obviously no marriage is perfect. We all have some pretty bitter moments in our lives, in our relationships, in our marriage. And in watching that movie, I realized that we're not alone in the way in which we fight with one another. So that was like oddly comforting to know that, you know, even at your worst, that the way in which your marriage can manifest in a terrible way is not exclusive to you. So that was like, okay, we've had some pretty bad blowouts in our relationship, but that's not just us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not abnormal.
Mm.
And then...
But I also just thought
Wait. My second point was that it was really upsetting and really difficult to watch because I feel like there have been moments where I've said almost the exact same things, or we've had a very similar exchange. And it was just like, I felt very empathetic towards the characters. It was really hard for me to watch. Like, I was blubbering like a baby. Mm. But I really enjoyed it at the same time. It was like comforting but sad and really funny in places, right? No?
I mean, I thought the actors did a phenomenal job. I think Adam Driver is a very talented, elastic artist, and it's the first time I think somebody else was saying this. Scarlett Johansson, we've seen her in a non-Marvel superhero.
He is like malleable. But to me, it was just like Kylo Ren takes off his mask and then gets home at the end of the day and has like a wife and kids. It was hard to like keep him aside from his like very iconic Star Wars character.
No, I didn't have an issue with that. I think I was fine. What I also think is like there was some. I think the writer or director, whoever, somebody who had a part in the story, definitely went through it. I think somebody who actually definitely somebody experienced some of the story, like the knife part where he cuts himself and then is bleeding everywhere. I felt that was way too specific for you to just randomly make up that actually happened to somebody. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like there were some moments that were just so real. Either it's phenomenal writing.
It really did feel like very, very real. Like you really felt for this marriage and like this, this kind of crumbling of this relationship. Because in the beginning you're like so hopeful, and you're.
I wasn't hopeful.
Really?
I knew they were going to divorce. I just, and it also like
because we know the trailer.
No, I didn't see the trailer, so I didn't even know. But I knew they were going to end up divorced, and I knew that he was going to fight it because how else do you kind of push the drama aspect? And it was so interesting how this how fucked up the system of divorce is.
Yeah.
Like the entire system is just so messed up. Like with the government and all these weird things that it imposes.
The lawyers were like...
They were complete sharks. It was
they
terrible.
like spew toxicity and they actually make it worse. And there's this couple that's like, I feel like even till the very end you can still somewhat feel the love that they sort of had for each other. Like it wasn't completely gone. It wasn't completely dead. And I feel like the lawyers, or her lawyer in particular, and then
it's
his
just so
towards
vicious.
the end.
I think the government, the way they kind of legislate on it is so messed up that I think it requires real reform and reconsideration in a society.
But anyway, we really, really liked it. I think it was one of my favorites of the three. As tough as it was, it really did trigger. It was very triggering for me in a lot of different ways, but I think they acted phenomenally well, and I think you enjoyed it, yeah?
Yeah.
Or was it not your favorite?
Yeah, I don't know if it was my favorite, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay. All right, guys. That's our review of the three movies. See them all. They're great. Bye.